Welcome back to Southwest Yard and Garden. I'm Curtis Smith. Today we're in far northern New Mexico looking at a garden up here. You can tell we're in northern New Mexico because there's aspens growing all over the place natively. They're not planted, and they're all doing pretty well because this is where they belong. But we're visiting the garden of Kathy Kalin, who gardens here in Angel Fire. And Kathy, this is a beautiful garden. I feel like I'm standing in a meadow of Columbine here.
Oh, well, thank you. There is quite a meadow of Columbine here, and it all started with a six-pack bought at Roland's about 1986.
And so all these have come from those six
plants.
Right.
And as you notice, the many different colors, the bees and the hummingbirds have mixed up all these beautiful colors.
And you've put other plants in with them now.
Yes, there's some Oriental poppies.
They're doing very well. They're about finished though now, aren't they?
Right. I have the orange ones, and then there's a pretty pink one down there. Only one blossom's left of that one.
And a beautiful peony over here that's also pink.
Right. And it's just about finished too. But there's one beautiful one left.
Looking good. I see some daisies.
There's some Shasta daisies over here. And there's also some oxide daisies over there.
And I see lilies coming up.
Have another nice lily here.
Oh, look at that.
It's an Asiatic lily, and they will probably start blooming in about another 10 days or so.
And so you've got quite a growing season here with all these flowers. But it's a short growing season. It's a spectacular one, but it's short.
That's right. It starts on the south side here about the second week of June.
That's when the blooms begin?
And then it begins to wane a bit about this time. And
so
up till then, it was beautiful.
And then it moves to the north side of the house.
Right.
Okay, it's beautiful.
That's a nice thing about having a south garden and a north garden.
Well, this looks like a lot of work.
Well, I guess the terracing was a lot of work, but I hadn't really planned to have a garden until I bought this six-pack of Columbine. And then I realized that I had to terrace because the water just didn't sink in.
And it's a natural stone terrace.
Right. All these stones came from right where you see them.
So
and
at least you didn't have to haul them in. They were right there waiting for you.
Maybe I'd like to haul some out.
But it's nice, and they're just dry laid, so they're not mortared together.
Right.
But they're holding this so the soil doesn't erode when it rains. And you've got mulch in here, that helps with that as well. And I noticed on the other side, though, the garden's not terraced.
Well, it is slightly, but you just don't recognize it. It's terraced in a different way.
Really?
It's, we'll have to show you how it's terraced.
Let's go look at that because it looks different.
Okay.
Well, Kathy, this side of the house looks a lot flatter. I can see it has some slope, but I don't see terraces here.
Oh, but it is. It's very subtle. We have a little bender board here.
Okay. Let's call that because it's flexible, so it can be bent to contours.
Right. And then we have some rock that we have terraced the area in.
So that holds the soil back, and it does slope behind it, but there is a terrace here. And you've got others I see here too, because the whole yard slopes, doesn't it?
Right. In fact, if you look over here, we'll notice that the sidewalk is part of the terracing.
Ah, if you look at it, you really see that because it's relatively flat, still slope, but flat to the sidewalk, then drops off quickly.
Right.
And then we go down to the other garden.
Right. As we come this way, it drops off quite a bit on this side and is terraced with the railroad tie.
Okay, so you're using the garden, which has
and
some bender
board.
And then the railroad tie here. So you've got a lot of terracing, but it's hidden.
Right.
It's very interesting. And you've got a lot of flowers, a lot of the same flowers, but some different ones over here on this side too.
This is one of my favorite beds since we've cut down a couple of trees in here. It finally gets enough water to be beautiful.
I see you
and some sunshine.
Had tulips and daffodils in here earlier.
Oh, yes, they were gorgeous. In fact, the tulip garden and the daffodil garden started, I think, about May and was just gorgeous.
Okay, the columbines are great. The poppies are still blooming over on this side of the house. And the pansies are spectacular.
Oh, I love the pansies. Strangely enough, they almost act like a perennial here. They don't die back. Sometimes you find them coming out in the snow.
So this area is really good. So northern New Mexico gives a really different gardening environment than the rest of the state.
Oh, sure, sure.
Thank you for giving us a tour.
Well, thank you.